But two, it's going to be a difficult affair, to say the least.
Yeah, this is going to be rough, especially because the desk was pointing out that double AWP setup that Heroic was so successful with on Mirage was good enough to shut down Astralis on this map. So if it's good enough to shut down Astralis, I'm going to guess it might be good enough to shut down Sprout as well. We'll see, though, because Sprout are at least starting on that CT side. Dennis picking up the kit, while Heroic get a couple of nades ahead of this pistol.
We'll see what Heroic can do on their T side. Now, there were a few weaknesses, I feel, at times. A few moments there where Sprout were able to capitalize. And they did have a few signs where they were able to shut down some of the quick attacks from Heroic on the T side. So we'll see if that's the case going into this one. Sprout going to need a very good start. Now the attack coming out on towards the A bomb site. Heroic applying pressure early on.
Smoke about to land in the face of Dennis. He tries to push through it, but Snatchy is the man to help him out. So many CTs on this A site, but a couple of them have already been dealt with. Tessus getting up close. Another entry. Everything going right for Heroic. Even though they run into somewhat of a stack, they're able to come away with all the kills and come away with that pistol.
Yeah, good double that from Tessus to close out the round. And Heroic, well, another good round for them. Just a quicker brute force play into the A bomb site. They just get every player in the right position and they group up with the Glocks. It's that mob mentality, strength in numbers. But Sprout come back into things with a force buy. They've got two scouts in play, Spitty and Favin with the scouts, and Dennis on the Deagle. So these scouts will be looking to land some shots, weaken up, soften up their opponents, and make them a little more deadly for those Deagles. And he has to chip away at them. Stown already has got a good position, though. Dennis, the victim of the MAC-10, but Stown has been shot up by that scout. Oh, last bullet, headshot connects to the Snatchy. And Kadian getting one as well. So much money picked up for these MAC-10s into the round, and this force buy is going nowhere.
Heroic just steamrolling that A-bomb site in back-to-back rounds. Down there threw a Molotov as well to the back of the... Which color train is that? The green train, I think? He threw that Molotov at the start of the round so that he could push up close with the MAC-10. I'm always so bad at remembering the colors of the train.
It is a green train. I don't know why. It is a green train, Alex. Yes.
Yeah, the blue train's the close one. The red train's the one on the right. I've got it.
Green.
I've got it.
It's the one outside of Ivy, Alex. And what? Favin just saving the scout on over. At least something to play with going into the next round. And I have to say, Favin was the shining light, I feel, for Sprout in both halves. He was the only player really doing anything across both halves. Specifically, that one huge round from him where he gets the 4K for the AWP on the CT side. He was looking really good there. So at least you've seen a little bit of a flash of what Sprout are capable of. It just didn't really all come together at any point. And they're going to need a good start. And unfortunately, Heroic have shut them out of this and should be taking 3-0 on the T side of Train. And every round that Heroic win in this T side lessens the chances of Sprout picking up this map, I feel. Their CT side is so good, and Kadian whipping every shot somehow. He has still got 55 HP after that, and he has no armor whatsoever.
All right, let's slow this down, Heroic. No need to be running into this A site here. It is a stack for Sprout. You haven't got the opening kill you were looking for. Probably time to just chill things out. Those two MAC-10 players not able to get the early kills. I've got to say, Dinko, you were pointing out previously, Deha normally the main man for Sprout. That's kind of what we were looking into this series expecting. I was expecting the Kadian versus Deha matchup, because Kadian, 4th highest rated player in the tournament. Deha's the 5th highest. They're really close stats-wise. Actually, though, almost gets 2 kills. This got a little bit uncomfortable. Heroic also have some players low, but Tessa starting to clean up. I think they will be okay on the Heroic side of things. Dennis is somewhat close by, but again, just the USPs. At this point, they should be good to go.
Yeah, this round, other than a few players being dropped, that should be the worst outcome for Heroic. And Sprout will get torn apart. 4 kills for Tessus into this round. He had a 4K earlier against the Eco as well. He's lovely to pick those kills up. Now it's 6-0 up for Tessus. And finally, we're going to get to see this buy come out from Sprout. Now, you do talk about the performances from DreamHack. You talk about the performances from Kadian. I think it's important that we also take a look at where these teams have been in this tournament so far. Sprout started in Group D with the likes of North, ENCE, and NIP. They beat NIP once, lost them the second time around. They lost to North, and they've just about beat Godsend. So when you have the teams that Sprout have been playing against, have been relatively weaker opponents. I think the groups were much more difficult for Heroic. We've seen that after taking a loss to G2 and a loss to Astralis. They had to fight to the lower bracket. But it has been an impressive performance from the Heroic boys, and what so far not been the most fantastic start into this round. Nico fighting back with 2 kills. That has turned it back into a 3v3, and Stown is moving up with the AK, but he's been spotted from Snatchy.
Cadian's coming into the back lines with just the Mac 10 as well. He might find this. Oh no, Favon! Okay, Diha's got his back. I wonder if Favon's a 4x3 player, because he did not seem to react to Cadian being on his screen, but it doesn't matter. Diha keeps him safe. And Sprout get their first round win on the board. That was just a fast play from Heroic. Kind of a bonus round to some extent for them. They had the Mac 10 in there. They decided to just throw out a fast A play. Heroic will still be able to buy into this one, and Cadian is going to get that AWP into his hands. So we'll get to see that Cadian versus Snatchy matchup potentially come through on the AWPs. Cadian already going into teammate for a boost.
Yeah, a little bit of a boost going over the top. I can confirm that Favon is a 4x3 strike player. And now the aggressive play from Spitty. The headshot onto Cadian. Borp with 1. And Snatchy in the brown holes. Doubles up. Not what Heroic were looking for. And they have been dispelled at the start of this round. It's the most ideal utility usage coming in here. And
has the
recover what's behind that. Where's it gone? It's just kind of disappeared into the void.
It might have gone up top of the wall.
Yeah, they haven't
go
looked
over
up
the top
there.
of the wall.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, it did take a lot of damage. You see the body being shoved behind the pallet. A minute left on the clock right now, and Sprout has got this 2-man advantage. Favon nearly gets caught there, but that Molotov will separate the 2 remaining players down. Having to push out, Borp stuck behind him. Now look at this flank as well, coming in from D-Han, nearly catches them out.
45 seconds, and Borp wins the first battle in this 2v4, turning it into a 2v3. Dennis still on the site itself, but Borp is going to be caught in the back. Nice shot from Stown, though. Somewhat keeping it close. Unfortunately, Snatchy's already pushed through B, so there's no real chance. They've got the flank from both sides. Snatchy actually rotating through CT, I should say. Gets the final kill through. These early kills, though, from Snatchy. Really well taken, and he had to get these fights to go his way as well. It was really important that he got those kills on the board. Otherwise, they lose a lot of early control. That AWP, again, getting aggressive. And Snatchy is an AWPer who likes to play very aggressive on both sides. So I'm glad to see him getting involved in these early kills. And it's pushed Heroic back down to mostly Glocks in this next round.
Favon with the double kill, Snatchy as well. And that should be the round secure with Heroic. Not really finding too many opportunities to even do some damage here. So Sprout, much better from them here on the CT hold. And coming into train, it's a good positive sign that they've been able to compete early on. As soon as they've got these rifles out, they've looked pretty good. Obviously, we'll get to see what Heroic can do when they get the guns out again going into this next one. They don't really look like they will have enough to comfortably get that AWP out. So I want to see Cadian get 1 kill here. That would change the tie completely. If he gets 1 kill, it's a little bit of extra cash into the bank. I want to get that as an AWP, but Spitty running over the top, dives off the ladder, and Cadian cannot take him down. 3 rounds for Sprout tied up on the board. Cadian did actually have enough to get the AWP. This Borp, I believe, that just purchased it up. So they will get the AWP out, and Heroic will have that in play alongside the AK-47s, and not a bad amount of utility, Alex.
Yeah, good enough for them. Should allow them to run most of their strats that they want to go for, heading into round number 7. Now, Favon is trying to push for that MP9, but Borip is the man furthest forward, taking damage, but the flash through is going to be spotted. Cadian actually steals the kill from behind. Borip won't really care that much. It's the man advantage gathered, and Favon taking even more damage. Snatchy, though, moving in, gets a kill back into a 4 versus 4, and Cadian almost caught there. Thankfully, he jumps back to safety. In the meantime, Dia's pushing through B, which is completely clear. So there's all sorts of action all over the place, but Snatchy gets caught, and Dennis lines up too. It's into a 2v3, and Heroic are the ones who might be in trouble.
Oh, Cadian, he's got the AWP, he's going to be blinded, and the peek from Dennis delivers death. Cadian out of that, now just down in a 1 versus 3. He's trying to win the round, but Dennis over the top. And it's not the round for Heroic. In fact, another huge play from an individual, but this time it's Dennis, the player that hasn't really had that moment just yet. But fantastic stuff. 6 up on the transfer, the flashbang from his teammate, and Dennis closes out the round with the orb. Good stuff. Sprout now into the lead.
Dennis rewards himself, treats himself to an orb ahead of this next round after doing a good bit of work in that last one. Not much for Heroic to work with in this round. So again, Sprout looking pretty good so far to start this game. Tassus is hoping someone pushes him with this Zeus. It's not going to be happening for him though, I don't think. Sprout just sitting on the site itself. I gotta say, in terms of this AWP matchup between Snatchy and Cadian, something that is quite interesting about these two AWPers is that they both get involved in a lot of the opening kills on the CT side. That's kind of to be expected when you're an AWPer. But there's a really stark difference in how they AWP on the T side. Cadian is the player on the team who tries to get the opening kill the least on the Heroic side, while Snatchy for Sprout is by far the player who tries to get the entry the most for them. So Snatchy's much more aggressive on that T side. We'll see how that plays out as this game goes on, because we've already seen a couple of rounds where Cadian's been sitting back with the AWP, hasn't really been able to get those early kills through. And this one against the Pistols should be pretty comfortable. Nice spray from Faven. Oh, clean shot on the last one.
Yeah, that's nice. A couple of these individuals looking poised at the moment for Sprout in the defense, and that's good to see. And I think a big part of why Cadian doesn't go for those opening kills on the T side, Alex, is the fact that he has so many great entry fraggers available on his team, right? There's so many players that can show up. Testas has been doing a great job. Borp in the past has been fantastic on the entry as well. You have that option available to you. Why would you want to be the player that opens things up?
I think Heroic probably run more set plays than Sprout as well. That's the other part of it. I agree. I was going to say Tessa's normally great on the entries. This time it's Faven who's looking great on the entries. He's had a really good start to this game, but Tessa is there to strike back, and Dihar lines them up with the AK. This is just all-out aggression from Sprout right now, taking no prisoners at the start of this round.
I'm loving this. The push from Faven towards Popdog, the Molotov kind of leaves him with no other choice. Either he falls back or he pushes forward, and he wanted to take the fight. He hangs around, doesn't fall back. He does fall, but in the time that that's happened, D has actually walked all the way through the brown holes. He's just walked straight through B and catches out 2 players. Brilliant stuff from Sprout. Confidence coming through and just radiating off this team right now. And Heroic, I feel like they've kind of got caught off by this a little bit. Sprout have just been all over the map. And I would love to see Heroic just go into a bit of a default, slower play in this next round. Then when they get the rifles out again. Obviously, that's not looking likely for this next round. That will not be happening. But moving forward, I'd love to see a bit of a slower approach. Stan's still in a winnable situation. He's got the first kill on the 1v4. The problem is that bomb. So maybe not so winnable.
30 seconds was always going to make it a tough ask from him. Saving the AWP would be ideal. Again, though, back to what you were saying, I think in terms of the default setup, the problem Heroic are going to have to overcome if they go for that default is going to be that B aggression. Because in almost every round, Sprout seem to be able to either get early kills at B with Snatchy's AWP or just push all the way through. That's something that has to be sorted out for Heroic here. It looks like Stan will be safe to save the AWP at the very least. Remember, that means he gets no money, so he's only got $700 in his back pocket. Thankfully, Heroic are on a big losing bonus anyway, so he might just be able to save and still buy in the future. But as that play from Dihar, jiggling in and out, really nice individual mechanics there, the movement on point for him to be able to take both of those fights. And now Heroic, they just decided to go for the buy. Their money was way better than I realized. Cadian's got the AWP out. Tassus goes down to a Galil, but everyone else is fine.
Yeah, we didn't really account for how much loss bonus they would have had there. And Heroic have found themselves a decent buy here. Now they're going to go for this quick attack through Ivy. Cadian was actually the front player in this one, but they've been dispelled by the utility. And look at the control they have over the A bomb site right now. Sprout with 4 players over here. They're sending another player back over towards B though, as they feel like that early utility usage might just funnel Heroic back to the other side of the map. But Heroic have not stopped. They still want to go towards this A bomb site. Good trade from Cadian. Dennis with the initial kill, tried to re-peek, but Heroic have managed to get themselves in towards this A site. They're looking to apply pressure. Cadian run boosted by his teammate forward, but it hasn't really worked out. Spitty with the first kill. Looking for that second, and that's the bomb dropped as well. drops down, gives it away, and now it requires a huge individual effort from Testis, and he's close to making it work. That's 2 picked up, nearly spins back for the 3rd. He hasn't recovered the bomb, though. The Molotov right on top of that bomb. And now Testis looking to do everything. That's another kill. And now a 1 versus 1 for Testis. Rondo said he's built different. He might have to be a machine in this 1v4. 30 seconds left in that clock. He drops out to the left side. The bomb is still dropped. And Testis looking to secure the 4K. And it's not going to happen. Snatchy ascends to the top of the train and looks down upon his surf of Testis, and it's 7 rounds on the board for Sprout.
It's not too common you see Testis in these clutch scenarios. Normally, he's the man going in first. Normally, he's the man involved in the early action, and yet he comes so close to winning that one. I've got to say for Heroic, though, I'm not entirely sure what their game plan was for that round, because they went for the front bomb train smokes, and yet the bomb didn't really go towards the site at any point. It tried to push between the midst of the trains, took so much time to get there. This time, though, Heroic not wasting any time, going straight towards B, where D-Har's got a double.
Oh, nearly the shot there from Snatch as well, but that does give Heroic a small enough chance. Gideon, though, will quickly fall to Favin, and the bomb goes down, and both players stuck in default. The perfect lineup for Favin. A 3K from him, 2 from DreamHack, and another round added to the tally from Sprout. This is kind of a similar story as to what happened to Sprout in the first half, right, on the receiving end, but I'm going to take a little closer look in towards this other stream. North with a very convincing map win victory on Nuke 16-6 over the Godsent Boys. Not exactly the best showing from them. Clearly not getting it done in the second half after a huge deficit. I believe it was 13-2 or 12-3, one of the 2 scorelines, Alex. So pretty one-sided over there. But over here on this stream, it's turning out to be pretty one-sided on this second map. Like I said, Heroic, they got off to a pretty bad start over Mirage, then got going on their CT side. Now it's the opposite. Sprout got off to the 3-0 loss, and since they got the rifles out, have just non-stop won.
That was Godsent losing their pick on the B stream, by the way, for what it's worth, 16-6. So that is not a good sign for them. Might be worth keeping your eyes on this game instead, because this one is heating up right now. 8-3 for Sprout. As you said, Heroic have been really struggling to deal with some of these early aggressions from the CTs. This time Stown pushing out into Olaf. Early nades to counter him, though. Can't push up as far as he might want to. And look at the minimap. D-Har is peeking into B again, so they're allowed this 4-man A stack on the Sprout side. They've got a man aggressively up Ivy as well. They know that Ivy is clear. They've got a good bit of information on the Sprout side to work with if this A play were to come through.
Oh, the shot from Snatch is quick, down into the head of Stown. He pops it right up. And now, a 5v4.
Oh, Snatchy wants more as well. Holding towards A main, now watching towards Olaf. Spiddy in an advanced position. Favin's just falling back from Pop Dog now, but the flank is coming through Ivy. Dennis has pushed all the way through, and Snatchy's got a second kill. Bomb dropped in A main, and this is where Dennis's flank could make all the difference. He's arriving. D-Har's been caught. Boric catches Dennis, but the nade comes through, and that's the bomb gone.
That is the bomb dropped, and that is so unfortunate. They're going to have to leave the B bomb site and go back and get that. So that kill that comes through from the HE has actually just set up Sprout perfectly for this round win. It delays Heroic completely. They had a B bomb site that was weak, susceptible to being taken. And now Snatchy has moved forward as well with this AWP. 25 seconds for Heroic to try and win this round. And the Polish Opera is at the ready. The shot will land. And Testis is nowhere near this bomb. The round is done, and that HE is enough to win the round for Sprout. 9-3 on the board. What a one-sided half this has been. Heroic have not got going on this T side. And where are the individuals? Nico on 4 kills, 5 for Gideon, 5 for Boris. Stown on 7, and Tessa stuck on 1 HP. Will go down here as well. He is leading the way in those 10 kills, but this has not really been the Heroic we've been used to seeing. Their T side has been shut down, and I have to say, it's been a huge step up on an individual level from the Sprout players. Snatchy in particular is looking real hungry.
That second shot on the jumping player was superb. Snatchy with 14 kills now. And remember, Tessis died after time there, so no money for him. He's down to a Tech 9. Boric having to take a UMP. Oh, the double drop down. Tessus was turned around, but thankfully Nico's got the spray on point. Faven goes down early. Finally, Heroic finding some early success, but that nade almost gets them both. Tessus taken out of there, and Nico wants to see if he can maybe get them more fragging, and he's got that second kill.
Nico. Oh, no. That's awful. Makes the noise. Tries to go back up the ladder, and he'll go down to Dennis. D-How with a headshot as well. It's Borp and Kadian left alone into what is a 2v3. Dennis with the kill at long range, and Kadian caught out as well. This is just a horrible round for Heroic. One they just want to forget completely. Borp at the last minute. He spots the play. What is going on in this round? Get me out of this one, Alex.
Oh my god. What is happening? Kadian whiffs the spray. Borat doesn't realize someone's going to be out in the open. He's going to drop down the ladder now. There should be some guns here for him. There we go. AK recovered. There is a man pushed into A main, though, and Borat is unlikely to be ready for that. He's looking that direction. He's trying to clear out these angles, but he's about to be double teamed. Borat gets the first. It was a great shot, but Dennis was always waiting in the wings. 10-3 lead for Sprout. Another weird round, but I think Sprout are honestly happy to turn it into this sort of game. This is kind of what Sprout love to do, and I don't know how Dennis gets away with that, but he'll take it all day long. Double digits for Sprout already.
Yeah, this has been just completely one-sided in this first half. A complete flip reverse. We said they have to do it in the most difficult fashion possible. Not only do they lose their map pick, but they have to win and battle back and win the reverse sweep in the best of 3 series on Heroic's map pick. The individuals looked like they were still poised today for Heroic, especially coming out of that first map, but I'm glad Sprout have been able to come back on the second map. It's very exciting to watch now as Spitty trying to hold on. It's 1 kill down in the smoke onto Tessus. Nico's got 1 on the Deagle, but Faven just over the top of the smoke, stopping any further presence near the bomb site itself. And the round is done yet again. Sprout 3v2, this low HP players both trapped in the same position. And it's going to be D-How with the double kill. 11-3 on the board. Sprout head into the last round of the half, having really not had too many problems on the CT side. This has just been clean as you like. Kill after kill. No one from Heroics really even had an individual moment. And that's surprising.
And that opening kill stat for Kadian on the T side has rung true. He hasn't really tried to get the opening too often with that AWP. He's had 1 opening kill and 1 opening death. It's mainly been just the Sprout players kind of dictating that early aggression, it feels like. Feels like it's the CTs choosing when they want the early fights, and Dennis takes the secondary AWP this time. Almost getting caught there, but he gets away on half health. A little bit scary for a second, but Dennis is fine. Double drop down pop. This time round, Heroic able to counter the early aggression a little bit. They're not getting caught out by the early push. Maybe that will allow Heroic to set up one of these plays, because they're throwing some smokes into this A site. Oh, it's a fake, though.
Oh, a good headshot from Tessus. Spitty going down, and now the attack in towards the site. D-How with a headshot on the Kadian at long range from the back lines. 4v4, best chance for Heroic yet as Tessus continues to walk forward. It's the second kill into the round. Could he get another one? Snatchy about to walk into his crosshair. And finally, a sign of life from Heroic in the last round of the first half. It has been an absolute bloodbath. All of the blood being Heroics, but they finally splashed on the Sprouts. It's just Faven looking for his way back into this, but Heroic will secure a 4th round at the half. Not a brilliant half by them by any means, but we'll see if they can bounce back heading into the second.
go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 Here we go again. Time is up and I'm calling up my friends. Ain't no wonder why, ain't no one to ride to. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend.
So nice for them to win. If they could come away with this one, I could maybe start to believe. But Spiddy getting flashed out early doesn't spot Tesses having pushed into Pop Dog. They are still aware that's a possibility, though. Dennis and Favin just sitting towards the top. Nice flash. Great flashbang. D-Hard still blinded. How is he still alive, though? He hasn't even taken any damage there, Dinko.
Oh, damage has been received now for both teams. Down to 18. A Snatchy on 29. Heroic. 4 rounds is all they've got right now. Like you said, they would love this force by Nico. He's about to get caught looking the wrong way. And Dennis just walks on in. A second kill as well. And that is any chance that Heroic had of winning this round gone. Heroic, they're going to be down 13-4. Next round is looking rough for them economically as well. So it's likely 14-4. How has this happened? How has Sprout come into trade looking this good? We know that their map win percentage is pretty equal across the board for these two teams. We know Sprout can play this map, but we're definitely painting the picture that Heroic were the massive favorites. But right now, you're looking anything but. Sprout are doing this right now, making it look pretty easy.
Heroic's wins on this map have been really good. We were expecting them to look great on this. We talked about that win they had against Astralis, 16-8 in this very tournament. They've got big wins against G2, a win against Ents on this map, which I know Ents aren't the best team right now, but they are still a good train team.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ents can play train. That's at least something they've got still. But yeah, I think if you look into the results, you see that they're solid from Heroic. And we know they're a solid train team. I honestly just want to bring it back to the first half. I think it's just that they get off to a bad start. I think they get this 3-0. As soon as they lose the first sort of gun rounds, Sprout build up so much momentum. Heroic just, if they started on the CT side, I feel like it's a very different story. But you get off to a bit bad start in that first half, and Sprout, you have to hand it to them. What a fantastic performance this has been. What a fantastic turnaround this has been in terms of the mentality. Keeping the morale in the camp high after losing that first map. Coming into this one, facing elimination, backs against the ropes, and they fight back.
Nice shot from Cadian, doing a bit of early damage. Drop down pop for Sprout, and Tessis is there up close. Maybe this is the round that Heroic were waiting for. They've got the man advantage. They've got damage onto Spiddy. And for what it's worth, Spiddy currently only has a USP. So that could make life even more difficult for him. Again, as you said, lots of credit to Sprout for that first half. I think they picked their spots for aggression so well. It seemed like every single time Sprout went for CT aggression, it was successful. They've got to prove they can do the same on the T side, though. And this time, they've got to fight back. Another shot landed from Cadian. This is starting to get dangerous now for Sprout. 1 man lost. 2 players tagged by this scout. If they're not careful, this round could crumble for them. The upside is they've got that Ivy control. And the CTs don't really have eyes on that position too heavily. But, Tessus, the aggression gets spotted.
He's just giving away the advantage as well now. It's back into a 4v4. Cadian fighting back, gets one from Pop Dog. He's stuck here. Favin somehow wins the duel against Cadian. He just drops down, takes that fight, and that's the rifle out of the hands of Heroic. That's the only rifle they had available to them. But down. Oh, it comes down to the timing. Favin looks the wrong way, and Stown now with an AK. And he's still got a flanking play coming in from behind him as well. Snatch is going to try his best. Nico down to 11. He finally will fall. And now it's down and Borat needing to do everything.
Ooh, Snatchy down to 1 HP. The nade not going to land, but it's Borat who's going to fall. DreamHack closes out the round from the site. Comes close again. Heroic. Just 1 or 2 more shots landing. They might have won that round. Not meant to be, though. Sprout managed to stay on top of the situation. They're able to work their way out through Ivy. Just about win those fights. Faven there getting some kills in Pop Dog, even though he was traded. Here comes the buy for Heroic, though. Double AWP setup coming through. We've seen how strong this can be. Cadian and Stown haven't done too much on this map, though, and they don't really have any time to warm up. They've got to go now. They've got to make sure they can step up in this very round.
Yeah, if there's any chance for a comeback from Heroic, it has to be in this round. It has to be now. They've got this double AWP setup. And unfortunately, we're experiencing a bit of lag on our end, I believe. So we're just watching the players move on in. But hopefully, I believe the action will still be playing out. So it looked like an attack from Sprout was coming in towards this B-bomb site. There's only one player there. So likely to take it. Well, right away, we're into a 3 versus 2. A little bit of a guessing game, but it's Heroic that have come out on top. Cadian clearly getting 2 on the hold. Testis gets 1 in as well. And now this retake. It needs to be huge. Faven has got the double kill into the round and will continue to walk forward. We'll continue to try and find some sort of way to get this round over the line, but he's been spotted. And now it's just DreamHack, and he's cut off as well. It's Heroic with the round win. A good double kill from Cadian, I'm assuming, and towards the initial hold that has allowed Heroic to hold the advantage into this one. And they're just playing the retake together at the 3 versus 2.
I like the idea from Faven in that post plant as well. Oh, we get the replays. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was Cadian, first 2 kills. And then this was Tessus arriving for another one. That gave them the advantage on the retake. Then Faven tries to flank around the bomb train, which I think you have to do in that 2v3 for Sprout. It's really not easy to play that post plant on the B site. There aren't many spots you can play from. So I like that he tries to get a flank going, tries to see if he can just win the round by himself. And it nearly works out on the timing. But they spot Faven in the back. Heroic get another round on the board. They've got to build a hell of a hold here on this CT side, though. A long, long way to go for them.
Yeah, and Borp, he's got off to a pretty good start. He's got 1, but kind of sticks around a little too long there. Couldn't really fall away, so tries to find the second kill, but Faven coming out on top. What a performance he is having right now. 112 ADR, 19 and 9. Nico getting spammed down through the wall as well. Snatchy catching Cadian. This is Sprout in dominant control now. They've got that man advantage. They've got the health advantage as well. Just over a minute left. Stam trying to make a hero play, and he's done it. He's walked right through the smoke, and he's caught out DreamHack. Tessus with a kill on Faven has turned this round in favor of Heroic, and they've got the man advantage.
And they've got everyone rotated over to this A site right now. Heroic have the right idea, and Spiddy, oh, he's got to be careful. He's almost caught. He's still being spotted. He's still in a poor position, but Snatchy's got a kill in the meantime. It's all on Spiddy now. Both opponents low on health. Bomb dropped on the site. Spiddy looking for the fight, but Tessus gets him on the edge of the smoke. Another round for Heroic. Only, oh no, both AWPs saved at the end there. So they can keep that double AWP setup going, and more importantly, they finally reset Sprout's economy.
Yeah, so let's keep an eyes on making sure they get that double AWP over, because we know how important that will be for the momentum here for Heroic. If they're going to start this comeback, if they're going to start finding round wins, they've got to do it on this double AWP. Good round recovery there from Heroic. It's a little scary for me, though, to be honest. You know, if you see Heroic in a situation where they're ahead there and they somehow lose the advantages, you gotta be a little fearful about that, but luckily turning it on its head, getting the round over the line. Down with an opening kill.
Like this decision from Heroic to double stack the B site early. You know you're against pistols. The one risk you really have is maybe letting that bomb go down on B. So they had 2 players ready on the B site to begin with. And even if Sprout push out on A, you know you're going to hold it. Sprout don't even have the bomb here, by the way. So I really don't know why they've left the bomb behind. They'd love to try and get a bomb plant in this round, but it's not going to matter. They're going to lose the fight. Nico with a long-range spray knocks them all down. Heroic with another round win. And this is what Heroic will be hoping to rely on, Dinko. If they want to come back here, resetting Sprout's economy, forcing them back to those low buys, and getting some easier round wins is obviously the best way to do it.
Yeah, you have to be able to get control of this game if you're Heroic. You can't let anything fall out of your hands. Sprout coming into the round. They've got the AK-47s. Can a quicker play maybe cost these ops? Can that infiltrate the defense? They've got a fast play to the A side. Tetris immediately goes down, and Borb only good for 1 kill. That'll hold the advantage in place for Sprout. And now Cadian, 8-17, all but his hand on the defensive side. This is where he was doing so much work on Mirage. But that is so long ago now. It's all about the performance here, and he's not too far off landing that shot. It's down in the back lines. He's actually doing anything with that AWP. Cadian has fallen without a single kill. And now the pressure really is on Stown and Nico to make this work. Nico forced forward, catches Favin. Now Stown looking for the kill. As Spitty's to the right side, he'll get caught without a single frag in that position. And so it all falls on to Nico to stop Sprout from reaching map point. And Spitty catches him through the smoke. 15-7. Map point for Sprout. And it looks like now, Alex, they've done enough. I don't really feel like Heroic have any chances left now. I think that was their final chance. They had to be flawless. They had to win it all in. And that round not going their way. Sprout now on map point. Money is not that great for Heroic. Their buy is not fantastic, but it's not awful. They've got enough to play with.
Nice round from Spitty, playing around that smoke as well. I like that angle we took to begin with against Cadian. Stown lining them up with the MP9. 2 early kills. That was an dropping down, and Stown goes back for more. He's hungry for seconds. He's hungry for thirds. He's got a 3K in at Pop Dog.
Yeah, that's huge from Stown. That is a statement that he is not done yet. He wants to continue to fight here on Trent. That is the kind of performance you need. That's the kind of moment Heroic desperately needed to maybe inject a little bit more life into them. It's unrealistic to call the comeback yet, Alex. It certainly is. With the amount of these rounds that have come close, and a big individual round here from Stown keeping them alive, it's still unrealistic to expect the comeback, but we're setting up the storyline. We're allowing the chance here for Heroic to try and come back into it, because there is a chance, a small, minute chance that they pull back to overtime. But Sprout, they're so far ahead right now. They're going to take the full eco. They're going to allow another round here for Heroic.
Got to be done for Sprout. You've got a big lead. You've got to be confident you can close it out in these gun rounds once you get them. That was a Zeus attempt from DreamHack. Not quite close enough to get the kill. Tessis is down to 26 health. Was it the Zeus? No, he didn't shoot the Zeus. Okay. I was a bit confused for a second. Oh, nice lineup for Tessis. Again, having a pretty good game, even if the rest of Heroic aren't. And Tessis might get an easy ace here. Or Borat might steal it away. Oh, okay, well, no Tessis gets caught.
How's that allowed to happen? Statue is walking out with a Glock. Tessis just asking questions. How? He's laughing a little bit about it, though. 15-9 on the board now. Another round for Heroic. Tessis lighting him up. They just drop down conveyor belt of death, supplying easy kills for Tessis. Now, another round added to the tally from Heroic. We did see a small comeback from Sprout over on Mirage in the second half, but it wasn't really enough to get them back into things. Now we've got a chance for Heroic pulling things back on stream. Will it be enough, though? Again, an aggressive play and another kill going in favor of Heroic. Favin was down first. He was down in Pop Dog already, but it's still going to be Heroic. Oh my God! Dennis still somehow gets the kill before falling to his own death. Borb done enough damage to make the fall damage enough to kill Dennis, and now a 4v3, a man advantage in play for Heroic. Molotov comes in at the right time.
Gotta say, Sprout definitely keep it entertaining, don't they? With some of these rounds, with some of the aggressions they're going for. Spitty going alone towards B with the bomb right now. He's got to be very careful he doesn't give anything away too easily. Double up setup still there for Heroic. Oh, Tessis on the flank as well. That's the bomb I was talking about. And that might be the round snatched away from Sprout. I don't think they can really do anything here. DreamHack's going to come back and investigate. See if he can get a kill or two. See if he can get that bomb back. But the time is ticking. And Heroic's still not pushing in to fully cover off the bomb. Tessis is actually sitting back. So maybe DreamHack could get the bomb. But it's just such a big risk at this point. Doesn't feel doable.
Yeah. So another round added to the tally from Heroic. They managed to pull all this the whole way back. That would just be unbelievable. a huge performance from them. But still, Sprout, a lot of rounds to play with still, and they just need one. There's so many opportunities on map point now. And DreamHack left alone with the AK-47 in the showers. There's no real chance of him doing much, obviously, if he doesn't get this AK carried over. So I want to at least have that to play with in this next round. So they have an AK. The rest of the team probably just going to have to take a small investment, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols. I wouldn't like to see a force buy. You know, if they force buy fully and they leave all the money on the line, Alex, if they lose this round, which is realistic, it's the most likely of outcomes, then they're giving Heroic a huge chance back to the comeback.
And they make sure to keep some money in the bank, but Sound's already got the first shot to land onto Spitty. Quite a few early nades into the A site. In fact, Sprout have used almost all their utility. Some early smokes out to A, quite a few early flashes as well. They had a lot of utility at the start of this round. I think Spitty was also one of the players that had a full set of nades, but he didn't really get to use them because he got picked off so early. So now Sprout only have a couple of flashes remaining, and because of that, they're just going to hope to see if they can pop their way onto this B side of things.
We'll see if they can at least get a bomb plant down here. That would be real solid for their economy. They have got some reserve cash left over, Alex, but it's not exactly ideal. There's certainly a couple of weaknesses still in there for Sprout going into this next round. So a bomb plant would set them up perfectly for the next one. Gideon holding on, looking for his 10th kill. He's blinded, and he doesn't take a shot. He'll go down. DreamHack walking away with it. And Favin as well getting a kill on the pistol. Not only will they get the bomb plant, but now they've got a chance to win the round. They have a chance to close it here. And Dennis with the headshot has given the man advantage to Sprout. The flank from Borup needs to be everything. It is everything now. 1 versus 3 for Borup to save Heroic here in the most unlikely of rounds, but the push comes through, the double kill. They don't see him. They don't know where he's coming from. And that's 2 kills now down to the 1v1, but it's Favin that'll close it. 16-10 from Sprout. They win on the force buy. A couple of upgraded pistols from a few players, Alex. They were leaving money for the next round. They did not expect to win in this fashion.
Oh, I think Heroic just needed to be a little bit more patient there. Borup had that big flank going. I thought that was going to win them the round, but both of the other players fight. And even though Borup has that flank, even though Sprout weren't ready for it, he can't win the 1v3. He brings it close. Heroic, though, having to play for a third map. And I'm kind of glad we get a third map, Dinko, because Nuke is a map that both of these teams love to play.
Yeah, I'm glad Sprout didn't fizzle out going into the next map. It's the complete opposite, right? They ignite a flame within them. They win trade in a very convincing fashion, I have to say. They completely locked Heroic out in that first half, and I'm excited to see what this final map has to offer. We head to Nuke after a short post-game breakdown from the desk.
hang on to their tournament life. A lot of questions after map number 2, and luckily, joining me to answer them, the wonderful Maui and Blair. And Maui, I think the question that we've got to start with is, where on earth did it go wrong for her?
Oh man, it's all over the place, I guess. Every single play for Heroic just wasn't working for them. Defaults were getting picked apart by Sprout's aggression. Their set plays were also getting just destroyed. It felt like Heroic weren't really ready to play this type of style that they needed to in order to combat Sprout. And when Sprout are playing with that heavy, aggressive style, trying to take control of every part of the map constantly, there's ways to play around it. You can retake that space with a little bit of utility protocols, good trading procedures, but it seemed like Heroic kind of just wanted to play their game in that first half, but Sprout said, we're never going to let that happen.
No, and I think a nice comparison that Hawker made during the game was a comparison of Cadian and Snatchy in those AWPing roles, because it seemed like Snatchy, he was getting, dictating the pace a lot on that CT side. But then we flip over, and Cadian not really doing as much as maybe we would expect him to be doing, Blair.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Snatchy really woke up. And firstly, credit to Sprout for waking up. They're kind of completely ignoring what happened. It takes a little bit of mental resilience to make that happen. And for a team who, let's be real, Heroic are the favorite team. So good work from Sprout for bouncing back. But here's my little bit of criticism for Cadian, right? I love the guy. He's a fantastic player, a fantastic IGL and an AWPer. He was involved in a total of 3 opening duels in that entire map, which was 26 rounds. As a primary AWPer for your team on the T side, I expected a little bit more from him. Now, I understand Heroic, the CD side, that's where they're going to be relying on. That's what they usually rely on. That's where they find the most success on. But you need to have some rounds to work with, a little bit of buffer to work with to kind of mount that comeback, which never happened. And I would have liked to see Cadian kind of be the at the front of the pack, so to speak, right? Getting some of those opening picks. But unfortunately, it was just going the way of Mrs. Snappy and Diha.
Yeah, and then we're going on to Nuke as map number 3. Of course, this is a map that we've seen the Danes have a lot of success on, but something we were discussing, Maui, Sprout have also had a lot of success on it too, and you can see by that win rate. And even adding on into that, they've had success against Godsend and NIP so far at this tournament.